I love James Gunn's Superman, and I hate that Superman and Lois had to be canceled for it. I'm still a little salty, okay? I'm a little salty. Let me mourn. We are so back, okay? This movie was incredible. It was, dare I say, a fantastic first step to this new DCU. Dare I say, dare I say. It was genuinely incredible. And getting to go with my friends at a 10:30 p.m. showing on opening night was really great. I was not tired at all walking out of that theater. I was energized. I was full of hope. I was full of tears. I did almost cry several points in the movie. And I'll get into that, I guess. But man, it was just so, it was such a great experience. I went in IMAX, so obviously it looked great. I forgot to bring earplugs, so it was a little loud, but I got used to it, right? And I wore this. I wore this in public. I wore jeans over it because the pants are not safe for work. But yeah, no, I wore this out. A lot of people were like, Superman, and then I'd be like, it was cool. It was just a great experience. So many people were wearing Superman shirts. Everybody was excited, right? It was opening night. And it was just a really, really fantastic film. And I want to talk about it. I want to nerd out about it. It is so hot in my room and this stupid polyester costume, but I'm committing to the bit, okay? Oh, I'm gonna sweat this whole video. Where do we start? The beginning, of course. Those little title cards at the beginning that just kind of give a basic lore drop of this new DC universe. 300 years ago, metahuman showed up, blah, 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 blah. So cool. Immediately had so much aura. It was like, it was a big deal. Like, it was dawning on me. Like, oh, this is it. We're starting the movie now. This is it. And I really like the lore that it set out. I mean, it was very satisfying with all the threes, 330, blah, 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 blah. But, like, I have to say, it said that 3 years ago, he started to be Superman. And Robert Pattinson's Batman has been a Batman for, like, 2 years? Listen. There's a lot of controversy around this, and honestly, my opinion flip-flops all the time. Should the Batman be in the same universe as this new DCU? But like, God, there's such good interpretations. I want them to interact. And clearly they're around the same, like, age as heroes, and in real life, I think. So, like, why not? Why not? Because they're talking about, like, Batman Brave and the Bold. He's gonna have, like, Damian, and presumably if there's gonna be Damian, there's gonna be other Robins. Like, Nightwing has already become Nightwing. So like that's an old Batman, and he showed up in a flashback in Creature Commandos. So it's like, why are we having a really old tenured Batman paired up with a very new Superman? That doesn't really make sense. And it also kind of doesn't make sense because I feel like Superman starts out pretty early, no? Like at least in most modern adaptations, he's like early 20s that he starts, but like this is a 30-year-old Superman. He only started 3 years ago. He started at 27. What was he doing before then? I don't know. And I feel like maybe originally he was intended to be Superman for longer than he already has been, but like maybe they reduced it so that it could potentially pair up better with Pattinson. I don't know. That might be me coping. It would be really exciting if they do join up. It will also be okay if they don't, because the Batman Part 2 is still going to be a good movie. It'll still be enjoyable. Otherwise, I kind of really want them to join up, though. I really do. Next, what I'd like to talk about, just how based this movie is, politically speaking. I feel like I need to address this early. It's incredibly overtly anti-Israel, pro-Palestine. Before the movie, I saw like a review in Letterboxd that kind of went viral that was saying that it was very anti-Israel. And I saw that like many others, and I was like, surely it's not. Like maybe it's a bit of a reach. Maybe there's like some subtle theming there that you can apply. No, no. And anybody who after watching the movie still holds the opinion that it's not, must have been watching with their eyes closed because it's so incredibly obvious. Clark says that Baravia is one of America's closest allies, or maybe Lois says that, right? And like, it's just so blatant, and it doesn't both sides it at all. Baravia is the bad guy. They're invading people, and I just summed up best by when Clark and Lois are having their argument, and Clark says, "People were going to die." Yeah, that's Superman. Not only was that incredibly great characterization for Clark and how he holds life to be precious, like he's over here saving squirrels, man. Like he really values life, but it's also good politically messaging because like we can't be subtle anymore. Like we live in times where a genocide has been going on for so long and it's being funded by for billions of dollars by the US. Like we're past the point of like, oh, let's be subtly kind of leftist. No, fuck it. We're saying it. Like, don't kill people, don't commit genocide, don't invade other people's lands. Like, yeah, fuck Israel, fuck the IDF, and like, it's so obvious that that's kind of what this movie's about in a sense, right? And I'm really happy that such a big blockbuster is doing that. I've seen some people say like it's kind of in poor taste, like when that kid is holding up the Superman flag, but also like I think any potential negative that you might point out for this is far outweighed by the positives. Like this is a big deal. This is good that it was done. I hope that maybe some like kind of stupid centrist that watched this movie is a little bit more left leaning, is a little bit more, yeah, I could see how this relates to Israel. Israel bad. I don't know. Probably not. But it's still a big deal that it happened, and it's still a good thing that they did it, I think. Like, I'm not. There's maybe something to be said about, like, poor taste, but I don't know. It's debatable. I have to say, though, it's not like 100% one-to-one like this is Israel because obviously they can't say that. So it's a made-up country, right? Baravia. And the Baravians are clearly Balkan. I don't know for sure what language they were speaking, but I understood a few words. My parents are Bulgarian, and I know some Bulgarian. I don't know for sure if they were speaking Bulgarian. I'm a bit of a no sabo kid at the moment, but like I caught some words, and like I know for sure that the evil country in Creature Commandos, they were speaking Bulgarian. So if they were speaking Bulgarian and the Baravians were speaking Bulgarian, I'm gonna have a word with James Gunn and be like, hey, they don't all have to speak Bulgarian in these evil Balkan countries or whatever. Um, but it might not have been. I tried to look it up, but I think the movie's a bit too fresh. So I don't know what language they were using for sure. But that was just a little bit funny for me in the theater. Um, but yeah, fuck Baravia. Baravia does not have a right to exist. Honing in a bit more on David Cornsweet's Clark and Superman and Kal-El. Beyond the fact that he's obviously an incredibly attractive person, he plays Clark so fucking well. He plays him so well. Like when he's that scene early on in the movie where he's being interviewed by Lois and he's walking around as Clark, but he puts on the Superman voice and he's speaking as Superman. It's just so good. And like the way he speaks, like he doesn't curse, he's throwing out like darns and goshes, and he's like he gets mad sometimes. He's not like some perfect stoic fucking Henry Cavill, right? Like no, I actually haven't watched Man of Steel. I don't know. I did watch Batman v Superman and Justice League, and I don't know. But like the Superman portrayed here is such a good character, and it's played so well. And I love that he loves life. Like I said before, it's summarized when he says people were gonna die. Like fuck any political consequences. Oh no, you can't interfere with governments. Fuck you. No, he's gonna save people. And like this movie, it agrees with him. Like some people disagree with him, like fucking Rick Flag Sr., who has not white hair in this movie. I kind of forgot he was in this movie. I knew he was gonna be in the movie beforehand, and I knew he wouldn't have white hair. It was literally at the very end of the movie when someone calls him Rick, where I'm like, oh yeah, that's Rick. Whoops, I forgot. But anyways, like they're gonna get into politics of it all, but like like the consequences of Clark making that decision, and they get into it a bit. But like at the end of the day, the movie still says, yeah, he should have done that. And that gets confirmed at the end when Green Lantern does it too, right? And Hawkgirl just killing the Netanyahu stand-in, right? Um, God, this movie's so based. And Clark is based. And he's so incredible. Like seeing him care so deeply about crypto, right? He doesn't even like crypto, but he's like, "Where's the dog?" Oh, it was so good. And yeah, seeing him save squirrels, seeing him save that woman on the bridge when she drives away and he's like flying in the smoke. Oh my God, it's just so much hope. This is an amazing Superman interpretation. Um, I love his little interactions with Mr. Terrific. I love his interactions with Lois. I mean, they have a really, really great chemistry in this movie. Um, and he just smiles so big, and you feel it when he's happy, and you feel him persevere. It's I'm just repeating myself. This is like clearly not a scripted video. I just keep saying over. It's so great. It's so great. Um, and this Superman was fantastic. This Lois was also fantastic, right? For me, Bitsy Kullick, I think that's her name, from Superman and Lois. That's like my Lois Lane. But I think her name was. Ooh, I might have to look it up. Rachel Brosnan. I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm gonna throw that out. I think that's her name. She did a fantastic job. Like I said, she has a really great chemistry with Clark in this movie, and with Jimmy too. They clearly have a great friendship there, and she just she storms into that fucking place to go get Clark back, right? She fucking wrote that article against Lex Luthor while flying the fucking like T-sphere egg. Like she's a badass in this movie, and that's lore accurate. Lois Lane should always be a badass to some extent. Like she's not damsel in distress. She hasn't been damsel in distress for fucking ever, right? Um, like she is very pivotal to this movie, and like she's not always correct, right? Like well, she brings up potential critiques to Clark's actions in the beginning, but like the movie kind of says that it's wrong, but you don't like hate Lois about it. I So far social media has been very good for me, um, but also there's always really stupid sexist people out there. So maybe she's gonna get some hate, that character Lois. Um, but I haven't seen any hate, and I hope she doesn't get any hate because this movie portrays her in a really positive light, and she kind of goes on this arc throughout the movie of like, do I want to be with Clark? She was like planning on breaking up with him, but she goes and saves him anyway, and she's like a hero at the end, right? She like basically helped take down Lex Luthor. Um, Not basically, she did. Like if she didn't do that, then Lex would still be running around, right? Instead of in prison. So I don't know. I just really liked her role in the movie, and I think she was acted fucking phenomenally. Um, just really headstrong, right? That's Lois to a T. Only minor critique would be that her shirt at the end could have been a brighter purple. It was a little bit of a faded purple. I'm glad she was wearing purple. That's Lois's color. Up the saturation a little bit, okay? Let's go all out. This is a bright purple, okay? But that's the only, I don't know. My favorite color is purple. I feel the need to have a bit more purple in the movie. Sorry. Jimmy's recurring bit about him just being extremely popular and suave, it was so hilarious. My theater just laughed at every single joke that was intended to make you laugh. Like, it was a really funny bit. Um, and like I guess that's like modern day Jimmy's like characterization. Because like if you watch My Adventures with Superman, like it doesn't do the same thing, but like he's certainly not unpopular there, right? It's just I don't know his actor's name at all, but he delivers it very well. He like I remember the scene where he's like it's nighttime, he's in the Daily Bugle, he's on the call with Eve Tessmacher, and he's like it's like a wide it's just really good. He's really likable here. I would have liked to see a bit more of him interacting with Clark, and their friendship, because like he's Superman's best pal. He doesn't seem to know Clark's secret in this movie, which is fine. We can save that for later. They're in talks about making a TV show for him. I'm so down for that. Jimmy deserves more love because uh, he gets neglected a lot. Like he wasn't even in the DCEU. Um, but yeah, no. Jimmy was great, and I like that the three of them were here. Clark, Lois, and Jimmy. I have to bring up Mr. Terrific. Dare I say he was terrific? He was really, really good in this movie. Super awesome. I saw a tweet before the movie that was like, oh, I think James Gunn's style was a bit toned down in this movie. No, not at all. I don't know what that person was talking about. That scene where he storms the base with the Pocket Universe portal, it was so James Gunn style, and it was so awesome. Like Mr. Terrific stocks are up. He has a Fortnite skin now. He's being respected, and it's really great. Um, I really, 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 really love the Arrowverse. Okay, that's like my baby, and this Mr. Terrific is very different from the Mr. Terrific in Arrow. I still like Arrow's Mr. Terrific, but they're like two completely different characters here. I kind of just assumed that Mr. Terrific is gay in the comics because he was gay in the show. Um, but like they didn't really bring that up, and like they don't need to, I guess, in this movie. We're definitely gonna see more of him in the future, but here he like didn't seem to be interested in like people and like emotions. He like says so. So I guess that makes me question like would he even want to have a romance? But I want more of this Mr. Terrific. Um, he's so cool. He's so smart. His line deliveries are fantastic. In Arrow, Mr. Terrific was more like comic relief. But like here he was like very, very serious. And I like both, honestly. I've been seeing some like retroactive trashing of that Mr. Terrific from CW. Um, it's network TV. His suit is obviously not going to be the same as movie quality. But yeah, this Mr. Terrific is awesome. I love his friendship with Clark. They have a good rapport. Like they play off each other very, very well, especially in the post-credit scene, right? Like this Mr. Terrific, despite not being like a comedic character constantly, like he has funny moments. He's given comedic moments, but it's not like from him telling jokes. It's from him like having wit and like the situation being funny. I don't know if I'm explaining that super well, but yeah, he there's a lot of humor that comes from him, even if he's not as overtly like a funny guy. You know what I mean? I don't know a lot about Guy Gardner, but he was really funny in this movie as well, and he was enjoyable, and I look forward to seeing more of him. Uh, I don't feel like there's much for me to say about him specifically. He was just funny. I like his Justice Gang bit. Um, yeah, no, I liked him. He was funny. Kind of same situation for Hawk Girl. Like, not a ton to say. I look forward to seeing Green Lantern and Hawk Girl in future stuff. I think they did well in the movie, but they are like kind of side characters. Like, they do important stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like, the story's not about them. So like, I'd be very interested to see more development for them and like getting more into their backstory, like seeing what's their deal. I don't even know if Hawkgirl gets name dropped in this movie. I'm like 99% sure she's Kendra Saunders. But yeah, no, she plays it really well. She has really cool fight scenes. They both do. I know the actress is like super into the comics and like Hawkgirl herself. So like that's exciting to see, right? And I think they're gonna do more with her character. Um, I've been seeing some like discourse about their suits, the Justice Gang suits. I think they all look cool. And I think it all makes sense because they're sponsored by Maxwell Lord, right? Like they don't have their own personal type of suit because like they were given this suit. Like they're all part of the same marketable, brandable team, right? They're meant to be like cohesive in that sense. So that's why they all kind of dress like Mr. Terrific in this movie. I assume at some point, whenever we deal with Maxwell Lord, maybe in like Superman 2, um, that maybe we can deal with that, or maybe in a Mr. Terrific movie, honestly, we can kind of deal with like them separating from being like a corporate superhero team or whatever. Um, and we can maybe see new costumes for them. But honestly, I don't need new costumes. Like, I think they look really great. And I think they're very fun. It's interesting that they were immediately friends with Clark for this movie, right? Like, they already know he's Clark Kent. Um, and they're like, isn't Lois was like, oh, isn't he a part of your team? Kinda like they clearly work together a lot. At least it's implied that they interact a lot. So it was nice to see that friendship between them all. Um, it does come into question whether or not they're going to be in the Justice League or if they're going to be in their own team, like the Terrifics or something. Because obviously Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho entered this movie, and they're in the Terrifics team. And like, it feels very weird for Guy Gardner to be like the Justice League's Green Lantern. So I don't think he's gonna be. But also, they built the Hall of Justice, and like that's their base. So like, I don't. And like, Hawkgirl is a part of the Justice League. I mean, I guess Guy Gardner has been too. But like, I'm talking about like a core team. Like, it's pretty heavily implied Justice League has not formed yet. It's like Guy being like a founding member, that's a little odd. And like Metamorpho and Mr. Terrific aren't also are not like really what come to mind when I think Justice League. I'd be down for Mr. Terrific being on there, honestly, but I kind of want him to lead this team, right? I think it's cool for there to be multiple teams in the DC universe, right? Like we have the Justice Society, we have the Justice League, we have Teen Titans, whatever. Um, yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do with them in the future. I'm very interested. Metamorpho, I'm glad that he was in this movie. I don't know anything about him, but he was really great. Like you see him immediately cry over the death of that one guy that like gave Superman food once, and like I don't know. Like he immediately is endeared to the audience, and it's like, yeah, like he kind of looks freaky, but this is clearly an emotional, deep character here, and I would love to see more from him. Okay, I probably should have talked about him earlier. We have to talk about Lex Luthor. Okay, he's so cool in this movie. It's he was played so well. His pettiness, his envy, his hater energy, his intelligence. It's so he's so Lex Luthor. It's just very Lex in this movie. Um, he created a pocket universe. He created like intelligent monkeys to write bot comments about Superman. That's so funny. Like he's such a big hater. I love him. I love him in this movie, and I loved seeing Crypto fucking beat the shit out of him. Right? I it was great. It was incredibly cool that he fought Superman through Ultraman. Right? He didn't like wear a Lexo suit in this movie, but he was like Ultraman was basically Lex's body in this movie. And like he's calling out the moves that he wants Ultraman to do. It's really, really satisfying, and it's very interesting, right? I've never seen something like that before with Lex. Before the movie, I was kind of wondering like, how are they gonna do Lex and Ultraman in this movie? I was like, what's Ultraman's role here? That was stupid of me. Obviously, he's just Lex's goon. I probably should have guessed that. Ultraman and Engineer had really, really cool fight scenes here. Um, and like Lex's whole crew was very interesting. Like he had this whole like team working to beat Superman. Um, I got so happy when I saw Otis at some point towards the end. He gets name dropped. It's like Otis, and you see him, and it's Otis, and it's like, ah, oh, that's Otis, man. And Eve was also very entertaining. Her relationship with Jimmy is interesting. It's very funny. And she played a massive pivotal role in the plot. Um, so like I guess we're gonna see more of her. Maybe in the potential Jimmy TV show, they're still together. Because in the end, it's kind of implied like Jimmy's like kind of warming up to her a bit. So she's also very, very different from what I saw in the Arrowverse. In Supergirl, Eve is like a super genius. She's extremely competent. In this movie, she's like portrayed as very dumb, but I guess that's a bit more of an accurate interpretation. If I'm not mistaken, she's from the Christopher Reeves movie. I don't think she's from the comics. I could be completely wrong about that. But yeah, that's a bit more accurate to Eve, I guess. Um, but I do personally kind of like the intelligent Eve more. I think the relationship that she had with Lex in Supergirl was a bit more compelling to me. Um, but yeah, I think it demonstrated Lex's pettiness, right? Like he had his ex-girlfriend trapped in that fucking cube. Like he literally imprisons and kills whoever he needs to. Like he's so incredibly evil in this movie, and it's fantastic. It really is. I love Lex in this movie. There are more classic Superman characters in this movie. Perry White, he had aura in this movie. He had that cigar. I don't like smoking. But also, I don't even think he liked smoking. I didn't see that thing lit up once. There was no smoke coming out of his mouth. He was just aura farming. He just had it in his mouth the whole movie, which is more accurate. Barry White always has a cigar, right? And then you also see Cat Grant. She doesn't do a ton in this movie, which is fine. Like she's just kind of a bugle side character.
Huh?
Which again we could see more of in a Jimmy TV show. I'm rooting for this TV show now. I didn't even know I want it, but now that I've heard that it might happen, I want it. Yeah, I just love that this movie was so keen on adapting the Superman mythos, right? It doesn't hold back from like, oh, we don't need to have Jimmy. He's kind of not in a modern context. He doesn't work. You know, they don't say, oh, no, we don't need to have any side characters in the Bugle. It's like, no, this is very Superman. It has so many Superman characters, right? And it embraces it in a really charming way, I think. I'm really excited to see more from this metropolis. Speaking of excited to see more, that Supergirl movie is going to be so peak. The costume we saw at the end of this movie looked really great. Millie Alcock plays Supergirl. I'm very excited. She played it great for the few seconds of screen time that she got, and like knowing what I know about Supergirl, it's going to be a very interesting movie. And like my friends watched this movie with me, and they don't know much about Supergirl, right? And they were kind of like, well, it was kind of weird that she just showed up at the end or whatever. I'm like, I don't know much about her. I'm very excited for them to eventually watch that Supergirl movie and fall in love with Supergirl. I'm really excited. She was funny. She was really funny. It's gonna be awesome. Probably the two characters that made me tear up the most in this movie was Ma and Pa. Like the Kents are so charming. I think I've seen some people say like, "Oh, they're a little bit too country." No, no. It that's how some real people are. They felt very authentic. They felt like they it was interesting seeing Clark kind of ignore them for a while. Like he's only talking about his Kryptonian parents for most of the movie, but by the end, obviously, uh, he prioritizes the Kents, and just like every time they speak and interact with Clark, and like especially like Jonathan Kent, I think his name is Jonathan, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Every time he interacts with Clark, just like tears. Just something about them. Really well played, really emotional. I love those guys. The music in this movie is fantastic. It's obviously John Williams' classic Superman score. Part of me kind of wishes if David Cornsweet's Superman had his own theme, just like to make him a bit more distinct. But also, it's such a good music. Like it's kind of irreplaceable almost. Like that is Superman's theme at this point, and the music is just fantastic. There were some other like pin drop songs that I don't know the name of and I don't think I've heard before, but they were all really great. I look forward to listening to the Superman playlist. The soundtrack, I should say. I'm look forward to listening to the soundtrack for sure. The action in this movie, so freaking good. Crypto contributed a lot to the action scenes. He was really great. It was awesome seeing him like show up and like cut off Lex's connection to Ultraman to like save the day. And it was really great seeing him just completely tear through Lex at the end. Very satisfying, very deserved, right? Um, but also Ultraman and Engineer, like I said before, they had really great fight scenes with Clark in this movie. One thing though, it was a little odd seeing Clark kill Ultraman, like throw him into a black hole. Cause like I didn't know what was going on with Ultraman with this movie a little bit. Like once he opened the vaults, like the Fortress of Solitude, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a clone of Superman. Cool, whatever. But then like it's revealed that he's like stupid and like he's very easily commanded by Lex, and I'm like, okay, stupid clone of Superman, this is Bizarro. He's gonna become Bizarro, right? Um, but then like he dies, and it's like, oh, okay. Part of me like when you first see his like long hair, I'm like, Connor? No, it's not Connor at all. Um, Maybe they'll do that in the future, but like it's you see Superman save squirrels in this movie. Like he cares so much about life, but then at the end he kind of just throws Ultraman into a black hole. It's a little bit dissonant for me. Um, but also he kind of had no other choice. But also like he was gonna put that giant monster in a space zoo. Like surely you could build a prison for Ultraman or something. Ask Mr. Terrific to build a prison. I'm positive that he could. So yeah, that was a little bit odd, I have to say. But maybe he's gonna come back. Maybe that black hole was actually a portal to another universe where he gets corrupted and he becomes Bizarro and he comes back, right? It's possible we're not done with Ultraman yet, just yet. Engineer had really cool stuff. Um, she also has a Fortnite skin. That's cool. I've never heard of Engineer before this movie. Um, I kind of don't think she's coming back. She kind of felt like a one-off, but I'm open to being proven wrong. Like she has very visually entertaining powers, right? And also like she has like a pretty subtle story here where like she believes in Lex's mission so much that she was willing to do this to her body, right? That's compelling, I think. And it kind of plays into this like first chapter of the DCU, Gods and Monsters, right? Like she's kind of monstrous, like she gave up her humanity. And like Creature Commandos delves a lot into the monster part of Gods and Monsters. But this movie I think leaned more into the gods part with Superman, right? Like the whole kind of theme at the end is like metahumans have started making decisions for like world politics. And while the movie portrays that as good in the sense that, yeah, they should save lives, but it does show that the US government doesn't like that. So there's clearly going to be conflict in the future about how metahumans have a role in society, hence the gods and monsters, right? And I'm very interested. I think it's a great first start to this universe to have that be the theme, like exploring kind of like a world building sense, right? Like how are metahumans integrated into society? How do superheroes work here? Because it seems like because they've been around 300 years, the world is like adjusted largely, but maybe not in a political sense. So I don't know. We're going to see Rick Flag Sr. again in the future, of course. But yeah, overall, this movie is funny. This movie is sad. This movie is epic. This movie is hopeful. I love it so much. I want to rewatch it. It's I'm repeating myself. This is not entertaining anymore. Just hearing me say it's fantastic over and over and over. But it deserves a lot of praise. Uh, it must have been really stressful because like if this movie was bad, it's over. Like DC's over. Like there is no coming back from that. And luckily we got a great movie, right? I can rest assured that although Superman and Lois ending early sucks, at least we got a good movie out of it. If we got a mid movie, I would have been angry. But I think the DCU is in very good hands with James Gunn. The direction of this movie was really great. It had some amazing shots, amazing characters, amazing chemistry, a really cool story, and I'm really excited for that Supergirl movie. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm sure there's little tiny details I can like geek out about, but I think I'll debate more with my friends on tiny nitpicks. Uh, Still don't know how to end videos. Bye bye.